Once Human is getting some brand new endgame systems and mechanics. We'll cover all the details there with the dev talk and the co-developer update. That includes some huge fundamental changes. We'll also cover some of the brand new workshop and scenario winners, some in-game and out-of-game events. Additionally, that leads us on to the community stuff, which does include the Steam Awards. We got a ton to talk about. What's up, world? It's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things Once Human. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. We'll get into the new systems, the new endgame mechanics, what that's going to be changing with all of those fundamentally. So first up here, we do have our co-developer update and dev talk section, which is some feedback on the new StarCrom and the Blueprint Collection level systems. So as an opening statement here, they're saying they're going to announce this on December 19th. Well, they will be introducing two brand new systems, the new StarCrom system and the Blueprint Collection level system. Where for the first question here, they just asked, what are these new systems entailing? They went on to say here that the goal is to immerse the player in an open world survival gameplay of Once Human, allowing you to enjoy every scenario without the pressure of min-maxing. And they believe achieving this requires more than just numerical adjustments. There's a few bullet points here that's going to go over all of that. So the first one here is enhancing replayability. They want every scenario to be enjoyable and meaningful, encouraging you to play just beyond resource farming. Next bullet point here they have is fresh and engaging content. They aim to constantly introduce new scenarios and gameplay elements, ensuring that your experience remains exciting and purposeful. So they don't just want to make the game boring and just have it a grind fest like most. They actually want to add some compelling gameplay and keep it spicy, which I do believe they have with all the scenarios they've been dropping. We've had 4 different ones here, and they all feel quite different from one another. I also agree that just farming blueprints isn't or shouldn't be at least the full game there. They also mentioned here they want to improve the social interactions, that they're focused on enhancing the social and growth system to facilitate fun and meaningful multiplayer experiences. I really agree with this point here. I hope they do improve these social mechanics. That would be quite huge there. We do have in-game voice, but I feel like not enough people know about it or use it. And there's even area chat, so I really wish people would use that a little bit more. The last point here jumps onto better guidance for newer players. They want to make the game more accessible for newcomers and returning players, providing improved guidance along the way. I've noticed from my Discord there's been a lot of new players asking questions, so I do see this being a very big point here, as there is a lot of new players, so definitely understandable why they're making that one of the priorities. Next up here we have the StarCrom system. And what are the major key changes here? What they do mention here is most former methods of acquiring StarCrom in scenarios will now reward you with Asteriums. You can earn that by defeating enemies, gathering resources, crafting, and completing Eternal Land orders. Their intention there is to offer a more interesting way to obtain StarCrom. You can also exchange that new currency for StarCrom with the new Stellar Stairway system. Each player can claim up to 66,000 StarCrom per month through this system. That excludes other alternative methods to earn StarCrom, which are things like events. This limit is higher than what players could previously obtain from PvE scenarios in a month, and it should make it a lot easier to acquire more. Now they do mention here they have some rationale behind that thought process. Obviously, currently the primary way to earn StarCrom is through playing scenarios. However, as the number of variety of scenarios have increased, balancing their associated StarCrom rewards have become increasingly complex. This has led to a scenario-based reward system that, while it intended to encourage gameplay, it has inadvertently caused some players to prioritize gameplay based on StarCrom rewards rather than personal enjoyment. And as they mentioned here, fully obtaining all StarCroms from a given scenario often requires a significant amount of time investment, making the gameplay feel a little bit too grindy. That's an experience they want to actually avoid. Their goal with StarCrom is to inspire the sense of purpose and growth, not to impose excessive demands on your time. So they have an entirely new direction for this. Again, they do have multiple bullet points here. Well, they mentioned that earning StarCroms will be simplified. They're no longer going to be tied to specific scenarios or game modes, which means that you can earn them across all scenarios, including Eternal Land. The focus is going to be on enjoyment, where you'll have freedom to choose the scenario based on your interests, as there was some discrepancy there before. Some scenarios were earning you a bit more StarCrom than others, and players were choosing those as such. As they mentioned here again, their focus is on enjoyment. You have the freedom to choose a scenario based on your interest without the worry of missing out on StarCrom rewards, and they do believe that's going to enhance the overall gameplay experience. Their third bullet point here is that they're going to reward consistency, with a total number of StarCroms available not be less than what most players will have previously earned. That will ensure that your efforts are rewarded fairly. However, as their fourth bullet point here says that monthly limit with flexibility. So while different in-game actions will yield star chroms at varying efficiencies, they'll implement a fixed monthly star chrom limit that they're committed to ensuring that reaching the limit is achievable and does not require an excessive amount of time. So essentially completely changing the entire endgame grind system and reworking it to make it so it is much more efficient for the player and not feeling like you are forced to play just solely for star chrom. I think that's a huge advancement there, so I'm glad that this new system is being in place. As a closing statement, they do mention that they believe this is going to streamline star chrom, the earning process, which, yeah, of course, it really will. Moving to the next section of the dev talk, we have the blueprint collection system. Well, this will allow you to upgrade and unlock blueprints earned with collection experience. You'll now be able to enjoy a range of exciting rewards with that as well. They do mention here that don't worry, you'll receive the collection experience on a pro-rated basis for any gear blueprints that you already have developed. Now for blueprint collection level system, this will include a variety of new rewards. There's going to be some weapon themed avatars, some name cards, and even backgrounds. They do say there's going to be a diverse collection here. They do kind of showcase a little bit of examples where they mention there will be some weapon customization, like a rename token where you can personalize your blueprint with a unique nickname. That'll even include nameplate points that you can use your weapons in combat with. And as they do mention here, that's going to introduce some new cosmetic type for weapon camos. Those you can use alongside existing weapons to mix and match there, creating your own unique style. They showcase off here a Jaws, or what a Jaws would look like originally, but then with the camo mixed in. You can then entirely remove the camo or put it on, just like this one showcases. So some pretty cool mixed stuff there that's really going to make some dynamic skins. They've also added some new keyword effects. This is going to enhance the combat visuals, making your gameplay even more dynamic. Or for example, here you can change the Frost Vortex text that goes from golden or rare to starry sky. Again, they heard the feedback there. They do have some rationale behind this. They do want to say that this is specifically to address the blueprint conversion or collection system. Again, we have some more bullet points here. There's going to be enhanced progression. That is by obtaining blueprints or blueprint fragments. You can now level and increase the blueprint collection level. But they do mention it's going to provide some goals to work toward, but also unlock existing rewards that showcase your achievements, like those cosmetics. Number 2 here is equal opportunities for all players. The blueprint collection system aims to prevent significant power gaps between new and experienced players. Whereas we saw if you played several scenarios ago and on to now, you might have 5 and 6 star blueprints. I do myself as well have several 5-star and 6-star blueprints. And since I've been playing since the original release, it does give me a little bit of an edge there, but they are trying to narrow that gap. There's also going to be continuous updates that they're committed to enhancing your gameplay experience. The level system will receive annual updates, and they'll introduce new features and cosmetics to keep the excitement alive, which I think that helps a ton here. I'm so happy that they're adding free rewards now. In that one Q&A session, they said that they were prioritizing their paid players. However, I think this system is absolutely fantastic, and I'm glad they are leaning into that. They've also said that they've streamlined the acquisition of star chroms and blueprints, where you'll be able to obtain both of those much easier, and your flexibility to choose and upgrade your weapons will be according to your preference. Now, they do have some questions here going over both of these systems. Will these changes be harder for players to obtain blueprints? Will it take much more time? They mention here that it will not require more time to obtain blueprints. In fact, the rate of obtaining star chroms should go up significantly. And as they do mention here, the star chrom yield from previous methods will not be reduced. The exception here being the warband leaderboard in Evolution's Call, which you did get a significant amount from that if you were high up on it. Of course, they've gone over the maximum amount of Asteriums you can earn per month, which also includes star chrom, and you can earn those via several different methods, including territory purification, with level 3 Eclipse yielding 1000 star chrom. In the new system, combat actions such as defeating enemies will reward you with Asteriums, in addition to the 100 Asteriums you get from purifying, which the total number of star chroms will then be increased. And they even mentioned here that star chroms earned from some game modes will be sent to your backpack as loot crates, allowing you to choose when to use them, so you can't save them overall. They had the concerns here about it being boring if every player earns the same amount of star chrom. They understand that the core and growth to progression elements of Once Human is there, but that they saw previously collecting star chroms and blueprints would increase a player's stats, making the stat progression the primary motivation. However, this also led to the issues described above. As we went over before, it kind of made the players geared towards certain gameplay mechanics instead of having fun. They do mention though they want to optimize the end game content deeper and make it more challenging. With also the blueprint collection system, that's one of their ways to change the progression in the game and the way to collect those and obtain them through gameplay. They're going to look to optimize that in the future as well. The last question here is, when will these changes be implemented? Will existing modes be affected? Also, is there compensation? They said if you have any unclaimed star chrom rewards, we advise you to claim them as soon as possible. They also do have that compensation lined up to accompany any coming changes. These updates, again, as I said, will go live on December 19th. All players will be deemed to have completed phases 1 and 2 and can claim all the star chrom rewards. which is 36,000 in total for those phases. Absolutely massive amount that they're giving players here. And then Astariums will happen in Phase 3. They'll provide a one-time compensation to all players after the update, and blueprints unlocked will automatically count towards your blueprint collection level. You won't lose any progress there, even if you've done blueprint conversions. Of course, as always, they do want your thoughts either down below in the comment section here or on the Discord side of things, as well as on this Twitter post that I'll link you to where you can leave your feedback. Last up here, we'll go over our community mentionables as well as those events. So first up here, they do have some outstanding rewards and merit rewards to give out. Those are to the Scenario Workshop winners. They're listed here. We might be getting some of their scenario creations sometime sooner than later. Pretty cool there that we'll have maybe a player-made scenario. We also have this new event here for the mobile side of things. And that mobile test here, this is being called the Bug Hunter. Essentially, if you report a bug or you find a bug in the new mobile test, you can participate by doing so by using the official bug report forum over on the Discord. And they will be giving out a Chephosaurus Rex bolster pillow. Looks to be some merch sneak peeks there, I believe. And they're also going to select 10 people at random to receive a $10 gift card. So pretty cool. There's some free rewards if you do participate in the mobile test. Last up here, I did mention in my finals videos, but we do have the Steam Awards coming up. It looks like they want you to nominate Once Human for this specific award, which is the Outstanding Visual Style. Although you can nominate Once Human for anything, this is the nomination rounds, but this is not the actual voting start. I believe that ends on December 3rd, where then the actual voting will carry out, and December 31st, the winners will be selected. Pretty cool there. I'll leave a link down below if you want to do this. All you have to do is click on this little section here, and you'll vote for it. Overall, it should about cover for today's video. If you like and subscribe, and until the next one. Deuce!